I'm going to continue yesterday's session. The session was primarily putting out some photos of my childhood, along with some photos of my dad, his sister, my grandparents from my father's side, and there are some things we got on the back of it. Okay, now we're taking it forward because we want to understand things. There are plenty of things and plenty of people I see here that I recognize. What exactly it wishes to say, I don't know, but we just go step by step by step. Okay, well, they disrupted my entire family, and many of my cousins are no more. They've just distributed them all over the, I don't know where, they've sent them off one by one by one. Yeah, I belong to the Advani and the Sadrangani family. Okay, Kalavati Hukumatrai Advani and Kala is time also, but Kalavati Hukumatrai Advani is also Kalavati Hukumatrai Advani. I showed you the photos. Okay, Varsha Advani, are you with me, darling? You're over here. So I'm going to be continuing the reading. Now I put out a new photo. You have to tell me whether that child is me and if it is connected with this family. Okay, this talks about Kila Shanti Papa, our grandmother called Kalavati Hukumatrai Advani. It is talking about everybody. Okay, I don't know what is. I'm supposing Mr. Mohan Hingorani is UK and connected with the USA and New York. They must have had their own setup that is separate, right? Okay, and Mama's side of it must be got to do with the yugas and the lokas and all of that and the difference in opinion. That's what I'm guessing. Okay. So let me just show the most recent photo that I have put up. Okay, this is the most recent photo that I have put up. Both photos are me. They would have tried changing it around. That white thing on my nose here, making the nose longer, is not my nose. You can see it's been elongated and made longer. But mine is a short nose, as short as this. This nose has not been messed around with. This mouth was messed around. So and the eyes perhaps. So to get it closer to what I look like, what I'm doing is I'm just whitening things that could have been messed around with to change the look. If you can see in this first photo, the widow's peak is very much there, right? But we're both the same babies. We're the same baby. Somewhere they make the mouth bigger, elongate the lips and make it much longer. Or then, like as you can see, the nose is elongated over here. This nose has been elongated. You can see the white addition. So that's not my nose. My nose is very much as flat as you see in this photo. Okay, so that's my real nose, wrong mouth. So I had to redo it with the eyes, and not redo it, I've just marked it out to show what it should be. Here the nose has been messed with a little bit, but this is primarily both photos. I remember both instances because I'm older over there, right? Now what I'm trying to do is so Varsha Advani, sweetheart, are you here? Is Shilpa Rao with you? Is Mama, who said something she's connected with Meera in some way, is she also over here? She's also here. So the black and white photo, is that me? That's very much me. The second photo in the blue and white dress also is me, though the nose has been elongated. That's also me. The little brown girl standing in the background, really ugly, is me only. Now all this is this baby. 1 minute. So I'm asking about this photo of mine when I was first born. Right? So I have to ask. We keep that there. The 3 photos put up on the internet, on YouTube, which I will again show, the earlier photo of the same baby is this baby. This baby and those photos are all the same baby. Is the holder of the pendulum. Name is Jaya Kanayalal Hukumatrai Gurmukh-Das-ADVANI. So that can be established clearly. So let's just show, and the extended family, as in not extended completely, but if we have to look at it, this being my dadi, this my father's sister, her first husband. I find this boy looking a lot. Today I saw Raat Akeli Hai, the movie. So the actor who's over there, Nawazuddin Siddiqui. His name is Nawazuddin Siddiqui? Not Nawazuddin Siddiqui. Anyway, the key actor over there reminds me of this man, but he's much taller. Yes, her son's name is Umesh Hingorani. I'm told he was removed unceremoniously and replaced by NTR, which is so strange, as early as 1987. So he's a very educated family actually. That's my father's sister. This is my father's father. That's my dad. That's my dadi. So I have to ask if I belong to this family. Okay, if this baby and those photos belong to this family. So if I can ask you, I just show the photos. This baby, all the way to being 11-year-old ugly, but starting out as a baby holding that sponge cake. All of it is me. It belongs to this family. What I said, my dadi, my dada, my father, his sister, her first marriage. That's genuinely, authentically my family. Okay, so let's show you my ugly photo. Okay, other than those two, you see this photo where I'm standing over there. So that's me, the taller one, with that bouquet in the back. But all these are me. And then fast forward, this is me. Not that. Let's just put it, focus on this. The young one is me. Okay, with my, yeah, this one is me. The one with the lenga. Okay, so continuing, he is Nawazuddin Siddiqui only. Okay, so I got a little confused. But He reminds me of my cousin Umesh Hingorani, partly, not fully, but I'm just putting things together what the possibilities could be, may not be also, but okay. It was a good movie. Now, the thing is, over here we've got do scene, English do scene, Krita Yuga family, and in means INR probably, or in a dream, because this is mentioning things connected with visions and dreams, and so this goes back to the year 2017 when I had told you I was sitting on the floor and up on a big stone Mata, that is Mahalakshmi Mata, was sitting, but she's wearing plain white. I'm sitting in white on the floor, as in on the ground, and I told you that whatever we see here on earth is nothing compared to what I saw in the vision, as in, I don't know, it's a different environment altogether. It has got all the flora fauna we see here, but it is like a much better pigmentation, if at all I can say, very clear, very crisp. What we see here is you can say half or one third. The energy is pretty low compared to what I saw in the dream. Now this is what, I don't know if that's what it is mentioning. The word dream is there, DREAM and S, dreams, right? So this is talking about that, but the whole reference point of this read is not to go into the Krita Yuga and to talk about all of that. It is actually to ask about, it's about Mr. JAYA.ADVANI and family, and to figure out whether that's who my family is, or have I been, if there is some gap in things and I haven't understood it. That's why we're doing this read. But on the back of it, we've got this. Okay. So it is important to talk about it. In terms of the family people, if you understand, my dad's name is Kani for Kanaya Lal. So you see, it is KANI. His sister's name is Ritu. Ritu Malia, after she has passed, her first husband passed away. So I showed you her first husband, I didn't show you her second husband. So because that's her second husband, whereas her children, who are my cousins, who I'm more concerned about, actually is about my cousins, right? So that's why, actually I'm looking at the Hingorani side of it more because of my cousins, because that's her first marriage. Subhash Gupta is SG actually. He's the other sister's. Her name is Kaushalya. Her name is over here, partly. So anyway, I don't know if it's trying to say FY. I don't know if they're talking about FD. Why some FD of do, scene, SG, English, connected with Ritu Malia and Kani. Why are you looking at me as an English? Maybe that's what they're trying to say. Or why did some English person even poke their nose into my home FD? And then you dare to call it dimes, right? You have also put down the value of my this property. at 86,000. Demand drafts drawn on Kotak Bank. When I tell you my locker was broken and my stuff was stolen, you refuse to believe it. You've been calling me dimes and you have for the longest time been insulting me. You are desperate to grab my identity, desperate to grab my family. It is all history now. When we leave the body and go into the afterlife, darling, my family is still in the afterlife. If we have to be with them, we're going to be with them. Nobody can take anything of anybody. You can only create, a problem for yourself. My family will know me in spirit. I will know them in spirit. And documented against everybody is exactly what you've done throughout the timeline, even before you got here and after you get out of here. You have been desperately trying to, I don't know what you've been trying to do. So anyway, my father's earned it. Now I don't know. New York and SG is looking at my stuff. I don't know what they're looking at. It's dimes and they keep calling me dimes. If I'm dimes, still you tried changing the value of this apartment? Okay, so let me give you her other name, her real name by birth. So that's my grandmother. Her name is Mrs. Kalavati JAYA.ADVANI. Anyone tries to steal my identity, you better be very careful. You. Understood? Don't keep trying to take my stuff. She keeps throwing voice in my home. Who stole my passport and ran off with my stuff in 1996? That. Okay, so I don't know if they really saw all that. I don't know. Not sure. Not sure what this is, but okay. I wanted to show you my aunt's name. Kani and Kailash is what I told you, right? Kani, my dad, Kailash, his sister. They have both come back to earth, I have heard. Because I asked before also. I don't know if they fought with New York or something of that sort, also, I'm not sure. Some mister. I don't know if they actually fought someone also in New York. Not sure. This is stuff that they would have done without. There's FOUGHT, but the point is there's no H. So I was told over and over again, you should choose your battles carefully and wisely. Now I don't know if the brother sister team had a fight with someone, no clue. But this is no way. Even if they did, they got the right. You're talking about human rights. You got the right to express yourself. It doesn't mean you do what has happened in my life. First and foremost, all my cousins, most of them, I don't know. Every pendulum session, ask about my cousin. Someone or the other has been murdered. All shapeshifters look alike. How do we figure out where this has come from? We're just a normal family. Our whole family. Apparently, I'm the only one left. Until you decide you want to get rid of me also. So I don't know what this is, okay? Yeah, we can do Mount Ki dash also, na? Okay, so anyway, let's come back to family issues rather than all this, because I'm more interested actually in. So this must be that one Chidambaram ship that we are talking about. Okay, so maybe those who went away to the EU, because this could be about the Caribbean thing, where in 2008 my dad went for about, I think, 3 weeks, and then he went to Barcelona, then I think Ankara, some places he went to in Europe, Greece and all. I was very excited that they had gone. Nishu auntie, him, Pushpa auntie, a bunch of oldies had gone on the Caribbean. I don't know what it was. Royal Caribbean? Yeah, something like that. Then he went to Manali also and came back. So I don't know how it is getting connected to the Den of Tony org. FM at that time, whoever was, but EU is where he was supposed to have gone. Was he shape shifting for Kani at that point in time? Because this is now 2008, it is too late. My dad apparently was pulled out of his life sometime in the 90s and again put out on the streets with a replacement in his place. Just the way they did it with Varsha. I don't know how they've been, I don't know what they've been doing actually. It's very, very, very confusing. Okay, but this is something. If we think about, we talked about the Krita lok. Now let's talk about lokas in case there's something about lokas. Okay. So we have different. Yesterday actually I saw Satya Loka or the Satyaloka, but that would be Mira's den actually, I feel. She's on the pendulum with me. She used to shapeshift for my mom, or she was my mom. That's what she says. I checked with her yesterday. She used to, Meera is not because her name is Meera, because she used to listen to Meera bhajans. This is through the Satya Sai Baba organization. My mom's not in that photo, but she's been discussed by way of association. Okay, and the timelines. Also, it has got to do with the Satya Sai Baba organization. Perhaps she could have stood in for a little while for my mom and maybe for my uh, father's sister too, because she traveled to all these places: Europe, Kuala Lumpur, New York, and Finland. Okay, who have been rascals in our whole setup to make a mess in our home? Let's see. First word I get is Syria in some way, and may not even be just in our home. On the whole, there's something connected with them. So there is Syria, New York, Kuala Lumpur, EU. NDA, Tamil Nadu, then there is Iran, Turkey, is that Arun? So he has stood in, I have a feeling, for Narendra Modi. I think there is the mention of Mr. Malia's Kingfisher also, free taxi rides. And then you want to see Mediterranean over here and Kingfisher and people who have died and murdered. Primarily over here, there is something that is upside down, or someone okay the Australia stay for. This is actually about why did the Sly FM okay Australia calling it Mediterranean, because this is what they did. They changed my identity in that time, and they also called me Pakistani, which is bullshit. These guys have been maligning my name from the time I was in the ninth standard, 1987-88 onwards, and they've spoiled my face 3 times. They're people, they send those kind of people into our homes to mess around, bug things in our home, without permission, change our clauses and make it MOUs, and then say, oh, हमने तुमको खरीदा है, and then poke things in our ears and our body and our brains without asking us and insult us 24/7. That is your Mr. Namo Namo's NDA. Frankly, other than 420 business, there is nothing that you are competent for. Even the reading calls you cheap and sly. Because you're just a snake, a very poisonous one. And you have lied a lot about me, and so it goes against you in the future. Terribly. Apparently my many people have fought with these people before also, and most of them are dead. I'm not scared about going into the afterlife. It's never been my concern. Going into the afterlife is the concern of those who know they don't come from a good loka, and they know once they're leaving the holiday on earth, they're going back home. And if they don't like it, well, it's the biggest concern. And you're not returning after that. I don't know if this is about somebody has entered in his place. Most certainly not the original. So some SLA is not SRL. SRL was murdered 1995, and SLA is the shapeshifter. Messed up so much it's not a joke. By the way, the dream that I've had 4-5 days ago, where people want to leave New York, Manhattan, and they want to leave your White House, Washington DC. So they want to leave New York and they want to leave Washington DC because they say it's unbearable energy that's entered into that country. They can't stand it. It's 5 years or 6 years is what I asked the pendulum. She said the incident happened in around 5 years ago. So then that's the same crappy energy you brought to Bombay, which I was complaining about little in 2006 but full-fledged in 2009. You have routed it through India and Bombay and taken it to America. But your crappiness has not stopped because you are hanging out, grabbing. After grabbing Jeff Bezos' company, before that grabbing Elon Musk's assets and selling it blindly, you're the same bunch of stealers. You have hired people from Regina Pacis. And Bardila also is part and parcel of what you got her to do. You will go for the maid servants who work in other people's homes, pune level. They are the only ones who support you. Come and ask people who are already settled. Who is going to give you anything? Wherever you have used those people to steal, you stole from those who had. You can't go to the people who have to ask them to help you steal from themselves. You can't do that. You will take it from those who work for those who have and get them on that path and then get them to help you do all the bloody grabbing. Your plate foul. Stench. Useless class. In fact, even 10 shapeshifters in one foul marriage. 2002 you did only to get a fucking signature. And just to do a fucking association of rubbish. Because 1990 onwards, you have been recording crap on Indians and lots of people only with the idea of reconfiguring who is what. You just want everybody to flatten down to beggary. Because you just can't earn it from an atomic level. That's the reason. You are foul, you are slime, you're sick. And nothing you have ever spoken you can ever deliver, because that was never on your agenda to ever deliver. Let's see who all have died. Okay. Well, Trimona, Umesh, her brother, Umesh. I don't get his full name all the time, so she is a British passport holder because, as I told you, when it comes to her father's father had a dispensary on Oxford Street. He was a doctor. So all three kids by birth get their British passport, or they got their British passport eventually. That's because of their mother's first marriage to Mr. Mohan Hingorani. There are so many people who have been murdered stealth mode, it's not a joke, to tell you quite frankly. This is talking about Gyan, but I've been told, I don't know, she was removed. Or maybe they got her, she can be to the point, so maybe they were calling me a dragon, but I'm not really a dragon. So I don't know if, because this is the time when Shilpa also says that this is the time when Rohika Chagla or Rohika Mistry as one case, Varsha Advani as another case, Shilpa Rao as a third case. It's all after your Dabang Dabang song. These guys, many people were taken underground. Earlier than that, that was what I was remote I had remote seen it, I didn't know where it was coming from. Auckland 2012. Simultaneous with it, what I saw was a dream where people want, by invite VIPs, they are getting invites to nightclubs and new lounges. There's somebody grabbing them and whipping them. So it is like enforced kind of deciding, what is moral and what's not moral. But whatever's been done has been done stealth mode. So it's like, saying, oh, your style of living is not okay, or it is against God's laws, and then grabbing the person, taking them underground, and then behaving very badly with them. So one crowd were those who were getting VIP passes, and they would have been from invites and things like that, or those who naturally pay the money and want to go to a new club which has just opened, that kind of stuff. So these guys are just grabbed and beaten up, whipped. If I can say, that's what I was shown in my deep state sleep. Absolute rot. And then after that I was shown, no, that was a deep state sleep what I saw. Then I have had this thing of even remote viewing, something happening with someone, I didn't know where to put it, but now Shilpa Rao said it was her actually, she's no more in the body. Then fast forward to 2017, I had this one thing where Shirdi Sai Baba is kicking me from one end of a hall to another and stamping down on me and kicking me from one end to another end. When one of those 10 shapeshifters, 24, 25 came to work in my home, it represented itself on my bedroom door. Simultaneously in the temple, there was a sweet little baby on like, I don't know what it was, and looked like Varsha's energy, my sister. Like a very fun energy. But combining the two, I later on understood that the beast had come and gone from here, or the one who did something to Varsha or involved in getting Varsha underground and beating her up for 9 years and then murdering her. There's rape also involved in all 3 cases. So it's a crazy mental attitude. In that time, in 2017, fast forward, that was 2012, fast forward to 2017, what was I shown? Gujarati ladies who are rich, and now they are not your middle class Gujaratis, the sari and all. No, they are all these very nouveau, rich and very guju mode. You want to say guju modern, those types, the Marwadi modern. So the mother-in-laws with their daughter-in-laws, their daughters who have to get married. So now if you're rich, you're from the metro, your daughters have to get married, you'll obviously go to the palace, turn yourself out well, you're living in a city, so you'll dress differently. The elderly ladies also are like modern, right? They all with their jewelry. I saw all of them being taken to a cave underground by something which was Yamma. It decides to ignore me, but it takes that whole battalion of screaming ladies. They don't care who they are. They are beating them up and taking them into a cave. Now, understanding what happened when I saw Varsha's dream, but thinking it is being done to me via Shirdi Sai Baba, but Varsha says no, that happened with her. I'm saying these ladies then must have been taken underground without anyone knowing about it in that timeline, and then don't know what happened with them. Because a lot of rot has happened in the background. Who is actually identifying how to stop it? So Yaya Sen SL UK, died Ramona Fang. Let's hope the Fang is not the bloody snake. You've been playing a lot of rattlesnake sounds in my home. Even when it came to Lauren Sanchez, for that whole month or those 2 weeks when you staged that Jeff Bezos got married to his girlfriend Lauren Sanchez, that was SL actually. Some version of him. One of the shapeshifters of 2002. You were playing the rattlesnake sound through and through in my home for 2 weeks. You terrible beings, that's all I can say to you. This guy is an absolute piece of shit. I don't even know how you allow this guy to function. There could have been a Mona also. He's done the same thing with. Mona is actually Dinesh, that's Nishu Auntie's in-law. Dinesh's mother-in-law. Dinesh's wife's mother. So tri is like trigeminal neuralgia and tri. Trigeminal neuralgia started only after SKF came into it, not before that. So here you will see Salman, Salim and Salma. Sonam's name is here because I very seriously think that she was done away with. She was one of the Geminis with a strong opinion. They don't like it because these guys are mostly from Iraq. They're not from, they have really entered here and they're from Eurasia and they are from the Middle East. They're very leftist. In my dream, what I was shown is people in New York and in Washington DC are saying they are barbarians and they will decimate everything. We need to leave from here at any cost. I suspected it earlier only, but I didn't say it. Now there are plenty of people who are in the Mediterranean dead. Mr. Vijay Mallya is one of them. Is what I got in 2000. From 2000 to 2012. Done away in 2012. After which you did the Kingfisher calendar and did the Kingfisher Airlines. Only after, not while he was around. So this is going to SKF team of people. We have over here SKF, there are 9 people. NINE. There's a lot of slitting and murdering also. SLIT MURDE, and that's it. Or MUDER, murder. It's supposed to be MURDER, murder. Well, rod and stick have been used on people, also kicking people, because I was the first hand witness of it, what was shown to me when this happened to Varsha far away. I didn't know who it was happening to. That is one person, and Shilpa is the other one. That is when she was shooting for Ekta Tiger, but it was not that. She says it was Jab Tak Hai Jaan. That's where she was pulled off the grid. Apparently, she died only in 2025. She was alive under the identity of Bebo. Or also that she has stood in for Bebo. Though she was doing Katrina's role, but she says while she was standing in, she was pulled off the grid. If we take this further, snake is SRK, because if we're looking at the snake here, SRK, Amir Khan and Salman Khan are all 1965. They're all born in that year. But if we look at Salman Khan, as a name, first and foremost, Sallu's name is over here. Onam means Sallu must be connected with Kerala in some way, or Mangalore in some way, or maybe that's the festival time of the year when something like this happened. So Kerala is over here. KERALA or KERELA. Now, try is who? Are we talking about the three Khans, or are we talking about three of the nine shapeshifters for the real Salman Khan? SK. SK becomes SKF, after which the Dabang song of Eclipsing the Sun, they've gone to town. And it is very evident because when, as I mentioned earlier, some Chopra died. In the auditorium, one nice version of Salman Khan or Sallu was crying. I say he was aware of how that person died. They're never nice with you when you're being murdered. So barbarians have entered America, and one needs to leave America because the energy is really shitty. Is what 5-6 years ago it was decided at Washington DC as well as at New York. Many CIA people, FBI people have been stealth mode murdered and replaced. It is the same thing that happened with Osama bin Laden. The exact same thing. According to me, I think the people who are working together is Korea, Iraq, and Syria. Somehow I feel there's a synergy of that. I don't know if this is a kafan. He had gone for some treatment abroad for his trigeminal neuralgia. But I think he died before that only. 2009 itself. Of course, with his mother's name is, very much in his name. Maybe they had some staff who were living in her home and they were connected with Tamil Nadu. They got rid of her. That whole family has been decimated. At least the son and his mother father. At one point in time, I felt Suraj Pancholi's father standing in for Mr. Salim Khan in some time in between. So, whenever very toxic, shitty people enter into people's homes, the girls just go away to the holiday homes, or they travel, or they go to another location. It happened in all my family in 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I decided to go away to New Zealand. Now I decided not to let anybody into my home because the toxicity on one person's identity, even hire somebody to be a maid in my home, the toxicity just can't seem to get its ugly, gnarled fingers and claws out of our stuff. What's your problem? Gotten too used to stealing, wearing some uniform? How cheap is cheap? We're going to steal while you call me dimes, and I come from the background I come from. You made a mistake that everybody in my family was dead. You learned from Putin? Who taught you those cheap, shitty tricks of grabbing stuff you're not supposed to grab? Namo Namo? Who was his master? Putin. Don't play bloody fucking sounds in my body. Learn to bloody earn your own. Stench. Next 427,000 years. You will be lucky to get out of nark earned by you. You are answerable to everybody who has left and gone away to the higher realms, who got a good birth, earned well while they were over here, did their karma, dharma appropriate to the birth, and were very much in sync with their own society. You messed around with all of it because you just can't earn it yourself. And the last few of us are left over here to let you know this before we all go our own way. He's also gone. So try could be, what? Salim, Salman, Salma. Because that's what I got. Salim, Salma, Salman Beg in the Sophia case. And that NM had spat on some girl in the making of Sophia. NM is not NDM. फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट जब तू भागवत गीता हाथ में उठाता है 4 वरना होता है 4 स्टेशंस ऑफ लाइफ. वी वर द बिजनेस क्लास, दे वर बिजनेस कम एक्टिंग, दे ऑल bent backwards to make their money. Pretty much everybody was stolen from, so many people raped and murdered. That also like a true coward underground. Shape-shifting, wearing other people's faces, not your birth face. तो तुमको आगे जाके आंसर देना है. हर किसी को एक बहुत बड़ा पॉपुलेशन है ब्रह्मांड के अंदर. अगर तुमको ब्रह्मांड नहीं आता है, जैसे तू एक शरीर के अंदर यहाँ पे जीवित है, हर चीज़ ब्रह्मांड के अंदर जीवित है, मोर जीवित देन व्हाट यू आर इन द बॉडी, तुमको वहाँ पे आंसर देना ही पड़ेगा. वहाँ पे तुम्हारे अगेंस्ट जजमेंट यही लोग तुम्हारे अगेंस्ट देंगे. If you don't have knowledge, don't pick up stuff. And just for an election seat where you fooled so many people, don't pick up those books. क्योंकि आगे जाके तुमको उसका जवाब देना ही है, उसका पेमेंट करना पड़ेगा इंटरेस्ट के साथ. They're all waiting for you in the afterlife. Also, one more thing, yada yada dharmasya and all that, you're nobody to decide what is righteousness and unrighteousness on the back of what we've been getting in our readings. Raping people is not a good thing. Taking them underground is not an okay thing. Another thing, shape-shifting is not an okay thing. When people are making money, let them make it. If there is somebody who has to teach them a lesson, it's from the afterlife. You live your birth and live it honestly if you can. If you can't live it honestly, you are nobody to take a high-end call about what is righteous conduct and what is not. For other people, that are also such shape-shifting nonsense tactics. You are the most unrighteous. पहले walk the talk before you decide for others. तुमने कौन सा किया है? तो ये सदा कौन, ये यदा यदा कौन बोला था? पात्रा ने बोला था. पात्रा का नाम यहाँ पे है? नो, मे बी दैट वॉज समवन शेप शिफ्टिंग टू बी पात्रा. So a lot of this has happened. All this is going back in the past. It's all connected now to my birth. Everything is going to come out, whatever I've been witness of. All this has got to do with 2010 all the way to 2000 and probably 2021, in and around that time. In this one time frame between 10 to 20, there's so many people who've been affected and done away with. I am Jaya. So what's your problem? You want to play sounds in my body? If nothing happens to me, I'm going to teach you a lesson after I go to the afterlife. So anybody, if you have manhandled, mishandled anybody and still not gotten rid of anybody. Because there are plenty of people who are taken underground somewhere in Panvel, somewhere in some Hassan, somewhere in MP, somewhere in Europe. Different pockets everywhere. Even that Lauren Sanchez, she never got married. Mr. Bezos and his wife were murdered as the after 2000 January 1st, 2015. My read says Amazon.com, Mr. Jeff Bezos' company, moved into the hands of the rogues. And what is in Donald Trump's camp is all roguish behavior. The same infiltrators, the same stealers. My father's called Chacha, not Kaka. I'm a Sindhi. Understood? Did you understand what I told you or you didn't understand what I told you? My father is Mr. Kaniyalal Hukumatrai Gulmukhdas Advani. Hukumatrai Advani's son. Kani Advani in short. So he's Chacha for everyone because everyone's Chacha. Simply because he is the brother of everybody, of all his siblings. So everybody for everybody becomes Chacha. And maybe Mama for Tumona and all of them. but for Nickel he's Chacha, and for Tramona and Umesh he's Mama. Anyway, now what is the other thing that could be important? So this had to be addressed. What else? So do we have Reddy's surname over here properly? Like from the hospital? But again, there's a D missing. There is a problem with these people. I think some of them are dead from Apollo Hospital. Stealth mode. Replaced by I don't know what. It has happened everywhere. It's a biotech war has started ages ago. They're looking at finishing it off, putting it to an end. So if there is any connection with Afghan and Europe, being the slimkin standing in for Reddy, then you should understand, because that spelling of the Reddy surname is not proper. They're from Tamil Nadu only. Yes, it is in their hospital. I have got before also कि at Vim and Fancy junior doctor बन के ये लोग वहाँ जाते हैं, बहुत कांडी करते हैं. And it is them who has the whole list of shapeshifters. कितने लोगों का क्रिस्परिंग हुआ है इनके पास है पूरा list of duplicates or something connected with them, because we are told that all the CRISPRing happens from Europe. There's somebody who has it. Now when we're talking about, if you're talking about Katrina पता नहीं क्या है प्रॉब्लम इस आईडी से, और करीना के आईडी से भी प्रॉब्लम है. Okay, so anyway, I just want to see if there's anything that's gone wrong with her that I need to figure out. In case somebody is gone, then it needs to be found out. So, what is to mug somebody? To hit somebody, either that you will hold them at gunpoint and say and take the money from them. Worse still, if you mug them and throw them into a car or take them underground or exchange them for a replica who looks like them. So nobody in society is able to understand actually the original couple has been pulled off the grid. In many cases, in broad daylight, this has happened where the exchange is already, the replacement is already created. They want your assets in your home country and whatever you got worldwide if you got money. That's it. And if it is people who are from Afghan and Syria, so those places are created to be unlivable, then probably the better looking girls from there or boys from there are, okay with signing a contract with these guys, but there the cortex gets shut off and there is another chip that gets in, which gives them the ego of the person that they are standing in for. So even making Syria the way you make Syria is primarily so you can hire recruits to send them and get them to agree to move into other countries, on the back of which the pact with you is that they will do what you tell them to do, and not that you need to tell them what to do. The chip is already lodged in the brain. They will do as you direct them. More so if you've done a face change on them. You've been churning a lot of people apparently. Maybe they met for dinner and that's when she was mugged and done away with. We take this out, we get Karina also. That's a fake identity on Netflix is what I've been told. Most of these guys are already gone. Her mother-in-law Neetu and her husband, the real RK. No, cousin, real RK. So the problem with SK is SKF, 9 shapeshifters are primarily the problem. Some of them go and shapeshift, I feel, for Bezos too. Where have they been picked up from? Because the attitude is not like a, second generation or born and brought up in Bombay. It's a very different attitude, something from out of the country. Okay, I think this is enough for today. We leave it at this. Though this was not really on my family, this was, I don't know how it has gone to this topic, but since it is there, I think it needs to go out. Okay. Yeah, Kani is my family, Kela Shanti is my family. Her second marriage was Malia, but this is, beyond that. Sonam is again, indirectly, there is a connection to the Hingorani family and Nimmu. And Bubbles. Let's go and see where some people are going. So let's go to the lokas. So first is the Swarg Loka. Do we have Swarg Loka over here? SWARG? No. Bhuvar is not there. Swarg is not there. Tapaloka is here. TAPA. There's no P. Mahar Loka is over here. Satya Loka is here. So I have a feeling in the timeline Satloka and Satyuga died with a girl called Anne, or on the back of something that has already happened, or when NDM passed away. So it has gone into Kali Yuga full fledged. I have never dealt with so much shamelessness as I have in this more recent time. This is disgusting. So there are some people who died, and on the back of it, the yuga also died, or chances of that yuga coming in died, is what I understand. Those who earned it well went away to a good loka connected with this case. Rest of us are here to still do our part. They don't believe in the concept of the Satyuga nor the Satyaloka. They find it like a joke. That's okay, they don't have to believe in it. You can go to your home, no problem. Tala Tala, Mahatala, Mahatala is there. Rasatal is there. Rasatal is there. These are the lower realms. So they're okay with behaving like it is Rasatal, Rastal, right? They're okay with it. So these guys are actually fine with Narak. They're okay with going to Narka Loka. They have no problems doing activities connected with not even Patal, lower than Patal. They're okay with the Narak. I'm supposing you don't mind Satan worship. These guys are okay with going the satanic way, given that it is the yuga. They're looking at it as a yuga, and they're okay with going ahead and going with the times. They know what they're doing. They're okay with it. Okay. As long as they know what they're doing, and if they're okay with it, then that's fine. If it is a conscious decision, then that's okay. He's okay with dealing with, he's okay with whatever Shani does going forward. Whatever the repercussions are, he's okay with it. Because someone must have tried to explain it to him, but if you're talking about Saturn, Saturn is what I have going on as of now. So it's asking you, why do you say that I agreed to have AI in me? No, I didn't. I was stolen from. And that's going to be your biggest tripping in the future. Nobody asked me. I was stolen from. They're saying I've been stolen more than 5,000 crores. Where that money comes from, I have no idea. But we're dealing with louses, the worstest of the worstest. To me, it makes no difference. As I told you, we started this read with what? That I saw something about the Krita Yuga much earlier, 2017. I said it, but there was no proof. This reading said it. Those 15 realms will continue as of the Yuga. So at Satyaloka, if people goes to Brahma Loka, they go to Tapaloka in the higher lokas. Over there, the Krita Yuga for the population that's living over there as Atma, as soul, will continue that way only. It is on earth that these cycles keep happening, because the infusion of Atmas that come to earth in some form for a breather, like a holiday for a little while, then it's a huge wait list after that. It's very temporary. But the other realms continue. So if it is at Nark, then Kali Yuga is going on in Nark continuously for those who are living over there in the soul form, alive. Same time, in the opposite direction, if you're talking about the Brahma Loka or you're talking about Satya Loka, then in Satya Loka, what is happening is that is too high. Okay. That is for the gods. Okay. Come little down, but everything has its own, it's like a community of huge amount of souls. So in the Tapaloka, all the seers, rishis, sages, they continue doing, for them it is still Satyuga. Except they don't have a form. They don't have a form. So it continues over there in all its opulence. The melting pot being earth is where everyone has to adjust with themselves, where the 4 cycles stand out more than anywhere else. So I never agreed to this AI stuff. You have put it, and all the time you're playing buzzers. SL, you better be careful. First and foremost, you are 10 people for a dead SRL. That was the cotton world owner, founder's child to be an MD. Not people like you who shapeshift 10 people, God knows from which places you all are picked up. You all come into other people's countries on the people who are dead. On them, you're like shape-shifting 10 people. What joke you think it is? And you have dared to do this after ISKCON. So then with people like you who have no ethics, no common sense, you're okay with going the satanic way. You're okay with narka. You got people in New York supporting you. Then no point holding the Bhagavad Gita in the hand because you want to be in power. You're this group of shapeshifters, criminals that they are. Whether in India's politics, whether in America's politics, whether the 10-10 in Russia. You're all same group of useless people. You just want the money because you come from lower realms. This is the only breather you get when you get one lifetime. You need to do whatever it is to get that breather. After that, no matter what you people do, you cannot get out of your earned realm. And it's not a good one. So you will create mayhem on earth only so you can subsist. That's why you are the way you are. KGA is where Kabir Gupta, I think some replica of his used to go to KGA with his mother. That could be Sallu. They're all shapeshifters. Don't know when they have entered and just taken over stuff that's not theirs to take. Don't play sounds from my body. I told you. Don't do that. You understood? Have some shame. Kabir Gupta is my real cousin brother. Okay, his mother is my real father's real sister. You had shapeshifters for my cousins. Those shapeshifters shapeshifted in that 5-month so-called sham of a marriage. What did you say? Keep the bullshit low, you scoundrel. Be careful. You understood? It's telling what you are. Okay, I'm going to close this on this. I'm irritated now because these are terrible beings. Katrina, I don't want to hear your voice over here. You can keep that. Not my type. But don't fucking make sounds in my body. पहले तो हमको लगता है any which ways Karina is no more. There are plenty of people, even her shapeshifters are no more. What my readings are saying, I don't think is lying. These guys have gone all the way into Washington DC and Russia and India's parliament. These are the guys. And yes, their ED is fine with it with New York, with your human rights and United Nations. तो आई डोंट नो हाउ अच्छे दिन आने को है, क्योंकि जब डीमन और सेटन होता है और कलयुगा से वो जुड़ा हुआ है तो किसी का भलाई वो कर ही नहीं सकता है, क्योंकि वो खुद अगर नर्क से आ रहा है और नर्क वापस जा रहा है तो उसके पास डार्कनेस और अंधेरेपन के सिवाय और कुछ नहीं है देने लिए या देने लायक, इसलिए गपचाता रहता है दूसरों का जो प्रॉस्पेरिटी है और झूठ बोलता रहता है. एंड दैट्स हाउ ही इज गॉन अहेड. But it is on the back of the AI, where there is a woman who was fitted with Audrey's ego. Do we have the word ego over here? Stalin's ego. Hitler is not here. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde not here. All the worstest leaders in history. We don't have Nazi, but Nazi. So you know what? It is a personality type that the beast is fitted in. It keeps switching. So they can be very personable, get what they want from you, promise you the world but deliver you nothing. In fact, have you murdered after they've taken the work out of you. And it's constant chessboard, because this guy has gone on record talking about liking chess, believing in Satan, is a follower, doesn't use the word demon, but he uses people, and it's a quick switch on, switch off, where it is a neural network. This is how they've gone that ahead. No lies. Alright? So that who is drowning in darkness can never give you anything but darkness. That is the reason they need to play these fuck all games, so they can grab other people's stuff. The rest of us don't do that, because we earn well, we leave the body, go back to our happy communities in the higher realms. Then after a long time, when we need to come back, we come back. We are given enough that's required for the birth. These guys are not even given that much, and that's what the big problem is. She, poor thing, they've grabbed her ego. I don't know whether they stole her genes and genomes. These guys travel a lot. God knows which godforsaken places they go, thinking they're doing good for the world. Anything can happen to anyone, anywhere. How you know? I don't know if it is Lynn. Lynn is the girl's name. She's apparently supposed to be a Leo woman. So LL is Leo only. These are all egos of people, and it controls your mind. It makes you do things you would not do otherwise. If you're going to do hella, then if you're going hell is yours and you're accepting hell is yours, then later on when you go over there, don't cry. When you are born accordingly, don't grab. Learn to do with what your womb birth is. That vagina you come out of, live that birth. Don't grab other people's birth. ऐसे South Africa. Africa is here. So KGA is only when in the later years after 93 or 94 or 95 or 96, the old Hall Road was still in operation, but towards the end. So when we arrive in Bangalore, Koshianti comes there with Kabir and Akhil and Nitish. We stop at KGA to have Karnataka Golf Association, to have Appam and whatever is available. I think that was a new crowd. I think that's a problem crowd. And that was closer to the time of, I think, when I got engaged. So it's the last few years. So that would be in the last, I don't know, maybe the last 5 years. That was probably a new crowd that had come here. Lent is your Catholicism. I'm a Hindu. So where is my real aunt? Can you tell me? And where's my real cousin? Because in 1999 he was supposed to be murdered. And he was otherwise in New York, and he was in America for some time. I was told he was murdered in Bombay when he visited us in 1999. Before that, Anne was murdered. That is Anne Rane, Sam Rane's mother. K is Kani Advani, Kailash Advani, and Koshi Advani or Kaushalya Advani. I don't think that is Sag. I think it is Sag. Tina is for Trimona, except Trimona had the most traumatic life. Tina, I think, is a fake ID. Okay, let's just see if we have wear ego, what all we have about the wearing of ego. Let's just see what we have. Very important. There is no wear. We got the ear and the arm. Bate. All the time they sit and doing piss piss sounds in my bloody freaking body. I don't know, what's your problem? You think I'm like what? Your reality game show? If my hand gives you one, you'll come to know. Just be careful. You've been hiding behind a fucking gaming station, fucking around all the time. Don't irritate me. You understood? Because you will not be able to tolerate what will happen to you in the afterlife. And that's the real thing. You in 2017 were very strongly told there is an army building up in the upper realms. The network that talks to me is from the upper realms. It is not about your station in life. They could have been very impoverished on earth. They're going to look like beggars. But they kept it straight. They've gone away to the upper realms. You harassed them. You stole from them. You took work out of them. You promised lots of things. You never delivered. Then there are people who were well off also, who also gone to the upper realms. So it's a mixed bag. They're all waiting for you once you leave from the body. Sutramona is Bocarato. Don't know how much you screwed everyone over. You divided all of us and all the cousins. You put one cousin with one fake cousin, like one original cousin with one shape-shifting fake cousin, and messed up all our relationships, including friends and family friends. One original family friend who's best friends with her other family friend. One is an original, the other one you send is an interceptor fake one. And there are ego problems and fucking around, and all relationships break. Aren't you a scumbag? Not Tremona. She's supposed to have the most traumatic life. Yes, the thief. So why Tremona's ego was put onto the yen or somebody in the Fed, and SK's ego put upon Sallu, and somebody in the UN? Like this, I'm sure on egos you'll get so many permutations and combinations. We got like 3 types of monas. This with crisping, you will never come to know that's a duplicate, that's not the original. Added little cosmetic job, prosthetics, तो कभी पता ही नहीं चले, पर इसको मिसयूज किया है, लोगों को मारा है, मर्डर किया है. जिनको उसको पसंद नहीं है, ये लोग नहीं, they are all victims, many of them are victims. This thing has got into the criminal network, into their hands for the last 15 years, I feel. Or maybe from 86 onwards. 86, 87 onwards. So India, I don't know what it's doing. Mr. Ratan Tata. He is the son. He's also born on a number 1 day, I think. Somebody from KL has won Mr. Ratan Tata's ego. For money. So somebody was somebody's ego and stole some money, and they're from Kuala Lumpur. So there are plenty of people, according to me, who have been murdered. Alright, they had their shapeshifters, they did a lot of charity with other people's hard-earned money. Whether it was by karma and good karma earned over many previous lifetimes, so they get a good birth, that was also just arbitrarily spent by the shapeshifters, or then in one birth they have actually done the slogging and done the hard work. All shapeshifters done. Even in Audrey's case, I really do believe that in the case of Audrey Raston or Audrey Hepburn, I just feel that the lady who earned the money and the lady who later on was there seems to be a difference in the two of them. The first one earned it. It's not your right to decide who should make money on earth, how much, and when they should be sent off or taken underground and steal their genetics, steal their genes, and then call it Advait. At the height of stupidity. Everything that's been coined has, you have to have that much decency in you that who coined something, when you are using, you tell us don't do plagiarism in universities, but you at high levels, of professionals. Not only do you plagiar, you actually rip apart the whole concept to suit yourself. I mean, that's zillion times worse than asking a person in university not to do plagiarism. So if you will penalize somebody who has given you a report that is a plagiarism report, then what you expect the afterlife to do with you once they know what you have done, not only plagiarized it, but misuse the concept to suit yourself. That also for all what kind of demon kind of deeds? All for money. All rats. So anyway, it is pretty disgusting. I'm closing this because I'm really tired of this. Okay, for now, I think it is. So we're shutting this off, okay, for now.